Hello, my name is Pasha Suvorin. I've been a high school digital media teacher for more than 10 years. About 2 years ago, I had an idea for transforming the way teaching and learning happen in my classroom. I call the idea guided autonomy. I see guided autonomy as a way to combine multiple research-based theories about excellent learning, excellent teaching, and excellent instructional modules together in one classroom. I've built and tested one course following the guided autonomy protocol. That course is now in a website called Teach Me Digital Media. I'm sharing this with you because I'm really excited about how well my students are learning now that I've built this system. After 2 years of building and refining the idea, I think it's ready to share. And now I'm looking for some help because the one class I've built so far needs to be expanded into at least 14 classes and maybe more. Here's how guided autonomy works in the Teach Me Digital Media course I've built. This is the website students use to access all of the instructional modules. Students use the site to learn about 80% of the course material. Students control the pace and order of instruction. This means that each student is really in a class of one while they're interacting with the website. But at the same time, they are surrounded by a richly social environment where other students and the teacher are discussing their projects, giving and receiving feedback, and collaborating in small groups. Guided autonomy is not an online-only learning model. The point of having individualized learning modules in guided autonomy is that it allows the teacher and students to have more time for face-to-face, personalized instruction. This is based on the theory of social constructivism. According to social constructivism, most authentic learning, the kind of learning that forms long-term memories, occurs when people have conversations about work they view as significant. That's more likely to occur face-to-face in a classroom than online. In the website, students have autonomy over which projects to do and what order to do them in. There are directions on the left side of the screen. If students have prior knowledge, they might be able to figure out what to do from those directions alone. But if they need more guidance, they can click on the embedded link. That opens up learning modules over here. Some learning modules are simply screenshots or a more detailed description. Most are videos that teach a lesson. As you can see, this video starts with a quick explanation, then demonstrates a particular skill, pausing to provide explanation in context. Students can pause the video, rewind, or fast forward. This allows them to find just the piece of instruction they need and then work alongside this instruction as they practice the skill being demonstrated. Researchers are finding that using multiple medias of instruction and having students self-perform actions both lead to better long-term memory formation and therefore improved instructional outcomes. Furthermore, students who learn through whole task instruction learn more and transfer their new knowledge to other situations better than students who learn following part task strategies. After creating each project, students use the rubric for that project. In guided autonomy, grading rubrics look like this. This one is for the landscape project. Students show their finished landscape first, then they answer questions about the elements and principles of art and show how their landscape demonstrates those elements and principles. Next, students reflect on the experience of creating the project. This is based on motivation theory. When students reflect on a project, they are forming connections between what they learned and how they learned it. This reflection process is more likely to produce long-term memories, which, of course, is what learning is. The final piece of the rubric is self-assessment. On this last part, students give themselves a grade based on how well they achieved their personal goals and the project goals. When they've finished the rubric, students ask the teacher for a conference, and together, the teacher and student make sure that the grade is appropriate and fair. This again is based on motivation theory and the work of many researchers who've shown that self-paced instruction combined with self-assessment leads to improved learning for students. I've shown you the website, the social dynamic of the classroom, and the rubrics, but there's one more critical piece of the guided autonomy model that provides the glue that holds it all together. That piece is the shared spreadsheet. The spreadsheet is a Google document, which means it's a single document that's shared with everyone in the class. Each student has his or her own sheet on the document. On that sheet are a lot of things. Across the top, you see the projects in the class, 3D object, animation, photography, etc. I'll use the photography project as an example. Here are the 3 project goals for the photography project. Below that are 2 red boxes where students type their personal project goals. This, once again, is motivation theory at work. By setting their own project goals, students take responsibility for their learning. I'm asking them to choose one process goal and one outcome goal. Research tells us that students who set process goals for themselves while learning a procedural skill, such as creating digital media, perform better on their work, attribute any poor outcomes to sources they can control, and are more self-satisfied. Studies also show that students who set outcome goals for a procedure benefit from self-evaluation. After setting their goals, students can choose to type a collaboration idea. Collaboration is another important part of social constructivist learning theory. One of the challenges that schools currently face is how to prepare students for the working world, where we all know that they will need teamwork and interpersonal communication skills. Students in Guided Autonomy learn those skills by collaborating with their peers while a teacher provides coaching and mentoring. Right after setting their goals and collaboration ideas, it's time for some feedback. Most feedback in the classroom is informal. This again is social constructivism. All kinds of natural conversations spring up. Students want to show what they're working on and get advice and feedback. In addition to these ongoing conversations, I've built formal feedback into the course design to make sure that all students get regular attention from the teacher. Here, for instance, is a place where students are required to get written feedback after they've set their personal goals. This is where the teacher can make sure that the student is starting the project by going in the right direction, which means setting appropriate and achievable goals. The next thing on the spreadsheet is the checklist. Here are all the steps the students must complete for each project. This checklist keeps students organized, shows them their progress, and puts their work in context. Here in the photography project, they collect peer and teacher feedback after their first photo shoot, and then again after they've learned to edit photos in Photoshop. After they complete each step, they can change its color. Here's what a spreadsheet looks like when a student is about halfway through the class. There's also regular feedback built into the spreadsheet at each important milestone. Research into self-directed classes tells us that students who work more diligently tend to perform better and contribute better peer feedback than students who work in short bursts. Also, studies have shown that peer feedback that gives explicit suggestions or that comments on content, style, analysis, and evaluation all correlate with more revisions. In Guided Autonomy, the teacher is a coach and mentor who knows how to guide students through these processes, helping students be diligent and provide high-quality feedback to each other. The ultimate goal of motivation theory is to help students become self-directed learners, autonomous adults who are ready to work, learn, and live in the modern world. Students in a guided autonomy classroom can get immediate help from a teacher, or even from another student, whenever they need it. Needing help means something really important in education. It means a learner is at that critical moment in life when he or she is ready to learn something new. This is what Vygotsky called the zone of proximal development. The idea here is that a teacher, acting as a coach and mentor, can guide the student towards some new and deeper understanding at exactly the moment he or she is ready to learn it. Remember earlier, I said that students learn 80% of the course material from the individualized learning modules on the website. Well, the other 20% of learning occurs spontaneously in the classroom. It's the conversations, the one-on-one consultations, the feedback moments where the most important learning actually happens. You can't plan for those magic moments where students are truly ready to learn something new, but with guided autonomy, you can set the stage. I know that the students learn better this way because they're telling me so, and I know I love teaching this way because it means that all of my teaching is personal, real, student-initiated, and occurs in partnership with students at the moment they are ready to learn. Right now, all of this is already in place and working in one of my classes. I've begun using an end-of-course survey that's already collecting strong data showing both that students are mastering the curriculum and that they're becoming self-directed learners, as motivation theory predicts that they should. So now I want to go further. I have a vision of 14 digital media classes all happening at the same time in the same room. Having all of these classes in the same room would provide richer opportunities for collaboration, and it would allow advanced students to be models and peer mentors for beginners. Now that I've proved this works, I need to return to my classroom and refocus my energy on being the best teacher possible for my students. So I'm looking for a company or nonprofit organization who will take over development of this project. I also feel pretty strongly that the guided autonomy method could be applied to other courses across the curriculum. I even think that it's scalable, potentially, up to a whole school level. Thanks for watching my presentation. If you're interested in what I'm describing or want to learn more, please contact me. Goodbye.